You recognize this outfit? Yeah, it was the Hanky Panky video outfit. I uploaded a video on Friday and I deleted it. I reacted to this song called Hi Ren by an artist called Ren. And I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't happy with the video. I privated the video for three main reasons. Number one, the video was copyright claimed. I was told that I could reach out and get that undone. I did. Like 12 hours later, I decided whatever, I don't care that much. So I'm not like putting it on him. Like he didn't say no. He hasn't responded yet. Combined with the fact that there were a few editing mistakes. I snorted in the video. I was sick and I did that gross thing where you know, and I feel embarrassed for leaving it in there. Third thing, the fan base didn't seem to like the fact it was a one-off video, so I didn't bother like splicing in the actual like video in the corner, nor did I bother to listen to the whole thing. I did afterwards, I just didn't have time when I was making it. And the fan base of the gentleman who made the video didn't like that I did that much. And so I decided I'm not happy with the video. The people watching aren't happy with the video. The video's not doing anything. I'm just gonna do another video. So this is my video. Someone suggested I read Reddit stories from Am I the Asshole? I've done that before. I could do an Am I the Asshole too, but I thought, you know, what if I read... A lot of times the Am I the Asshole videos are very, like, subjective. So it's like people start debating in the I want to laugh. I just want to, like, laugh. Today I'm fucked up by giving myself acid reflux for 25 years. I'm 34 years old, and I've had excruciating acid reflux since I was 8. I've been taking prescription strength medication every day for 25 years to control it, and I've still had terrible symptoms that sometimes keep me up at night. I've even had an endoscopy. What is an endoscopy? A medical procedure that allows a healthcare professional to examine the internal organs of the body using a thin, flexible tube called an endoscope. Recently, I've noticed that my symptoms tend to start after I take my evening allergy and asthma medication. Incidentally, I've been taking these pills since I was about 8 years old. So I've always been able to easily dry swallow pills without water. I can take a whole handful of pills dry, no problem. That's how I've always taken my medication. So I Googled it, and sure enough, dry swallowing pills can lead to the pills getting stuck in your esophagus and causing acid reflux. I started taking water with my pills, and sure enough, my acid reflux symptoms disappeared immediately. It's been a few months now, and I haven't had a single episode of reflux when I used to have it several times a week. That sucks. That's terrible. I've never been on a prescription before. If I'm being completely honest, I don't really trust the pharmaceutical company, because, like, I know I said I wasn't going to get political, but let's get political. If, just like from a general term, let's say I made anti-diarrhea medication, right? Don't I profit off of people getting diarrhea? Could I not slide one under the rug and make people have more diarrhea so they keep coming back for my anti-diarrhea medicine? There's probably laws against that, but I'm sure lobbyists and lawyers have found loopholes. What did I take? I took medication when I was 8. What was that for? I don't remember what those pills were for. That sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Today I fucked up by sealing wasps in their nest instead of killing them. I heard a story like this where instead of bothering to change the nest, there was this couple who just like taped up all the entrances, and then they saw like larvae like seeping through the cracks of their house. This happened last week, but the effects are still much ongoing. We've had a wasp nest inside of my house for a while now. Last week, they stung one of my friends, so it was time to get rid of them. Given the amount of wasps in and out, it seemed like a pretty big nest. To guesstimate the size, I would say a wasp entered or left the nest once a second all day. Oh my God. Didn't want to just squirt poison down the hole. That would just piss them off and not reach most of it. So I decided to seal the nest with expanding foam sealant. I snuck out in the dead of night. That's smart. They're all in their nest and sleeping at the dead of night, and stuck enough foam in that hole to seal off a construction site. Little did I know that was a terrible idea. Apparently, there was another exit to the nest going inside the house. This nest is enormous. The average size for a nest this late in the season is 2,000 to 4,000 wasps. Half our house is currently inaccessible. I sneak down to the basement at night to change the traps. I keep a hand vacuum next to my workstation. Our cats are not happy. They've been locked into a single room, and they're pissing everywhere to show their discontent. Doing my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, I've gone through roughly 7 magazines on the bug assault shotgun, and maybe 40 shots per magazine. These fuckers are armor-plated and do not die easily. I've injured my arm pumping the shotgun so many times. I think the most disconcerting thing is how normal it's become. I wake up, grab the shop vac on the 60 feet extension cord, and just clear the house as a matter of routine. It's part of rising and shining for the day. Coffee, breakfast, wasp, vacuuming, kiss the wife goodbye, time to work. This cold is going to kill them at some point, right? They may have not had a second exit into your home at the start. Fun fact, they can chew through concrete if there are enough of them and they're properly motivated. That's why you need to kill them before sealing their hole. There's a wasp nest outside my bedroom window. They're dying now because it's getting too cold for them. But basically, there's like a piece of the window missing, and so they can sneak through the crack and easily get into my room. What I did was I took a plastic sheet and I taped it up around the entire window. They did chew through the plastic, actually. I didn't know that they could chew through concrete, but they chewed through the plastic, and I would spray where they chewed through and taped it back up to deter them. I would spray it with peppermint oil. They don't like peppermint oil. I don't know why, but they don't like it. I would also spray WD-40. At first, I sprayed WD-40, and then I got massive headaches, and I read the bottle, and it said, don't inhale, and I was inhaling, so I decided maybe I should go with a route that doesn't poison myself as well. I could never. I had a nightmare when I was 3 that these little mites took over my house, and they were crawling all over me, and I woke up screaming. I don't know where my fear of getting bugs crawling on me comes from, but I will not tolerate a large amount of bugs. I won't do it. Today I fucked up by accidentally finding out my second child's gender. My wife is 12 weeks pregnant, and I just had her lab work and original ultrasound done. I am the one that usually sends the messages to the OBGYN and my chart under her account because my wife does not like communicating through the app. We plan on sharing the results with a baker and having the inside of the cake either be pink or blue. To make it easier, we asked if they could send a separate message containing the results. They obliged, and they sent the message. However, my chart has this special feature where the first few words of a message will preview before opening the message. So what I see is, gender results, do not open. You are having a boy, I have since deleted the message from my chart, and will be holding the secret for who knows how long. TLDR, I'm having a baby boy. Congratulations on your baby boy. This was 15 days ago. So I hope the baby boy's going well. I hope the baby boy is nice and babyish and boyish and babyish. I don't know. I've never been pregnant. I don't know. I can't relate to that. I've never had kids. I am still half kid. I'm growing out of being a kid, so I can't really relate to that. Why are my eyebrows so itchy? Today I fucked up by forgetting I was screen sharing during a meeting and everyone saw my pop-up. What did I open? Whoops, I accidentally downloaded this PDF. Oh, it's a cat. It's a picture of a cat. I was in a morning meeting sharing my screen to go over some project notes. Everything was fine until my little productivity app decided to remind me, time to stretch, King, in giant pink letters across the top of my screen. I froze. Everybody saw it. My manager started laughing so hard she had to mute. I tried to play it off like it was some team morale thing, but no one bought that. Someone screenshotted it for the group chat. Now it's become a full office meme. Every meeting since, at least one person greets me with "Good morning, King," or asks if I've done my stretches yet. I can't even look at my computer without hearing them laugh in my head. That night, while playing My Prize, I got a text from my coworker that just said, "Stretch, King," no context, just that. It's been 2 days and they still call me this. Oh, this was 4 days ago. Have you done your stretches yet, King? Here's how to handle being embarrassed. Don't. I do get embarrassed sometimes, but if you there are ways to make it so nobody will remember it. Like in math class, I once said, "I'm about to whip this thing out." I was referring to my calculator. I was gonna whip this thing out, not my penis. People laughed, and I laughed with it. I was like, well, don't do it like that awkwardly, but laugh about it. Be like, "Oh, how funny of me." If you're like, "Oh my God, no," they're gonna be like, "Ah, how embarrassing." I find the best way to admit I did something wrong is to just admit it. Like when in that video where the story where I shit my pants, I admitted I shit my pants. I went, "Hey, I shit my pants." You just say it. If you embrace it, it's not embarrassing. And then I told everybody on YouTube, so it's less embarrassing. Today I fucked up by punching my strict dad in the face. Today I fucked up by secretly recording my coworkers when I left the room. Those are both really good stories. So I'm the only male in an office full of women, all of whom are older than me. I've worked here 3 months and noticed conversations stopping or changing when I enter the room. Lots of childish giggles, but none of them really speak to me or include me in things, which I'm fine with. I probably prefer it that way. But curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. It turns out they don't like my beard or my clothes, and they especially don't think much of my receding hairline either. Unsettlingly, though, on one recording I've made over the course of the week, 2 of the women closest to my desk were discussing my wife's appearance after finding her on Facebook. They were complimentary about her at least, but the phrase "punching above his weight" was mentioned. Oh, and also half of them thought I was gay because I don't wear a wedding ring. So it turns out I work with a bunch of vapid, ignorant, moronic Karens, and I can't confront them that I've recorded them because it would be a can of worms I don't fancy opening. You know what you should do? You should embrace that. Start a conversation about your new razor, the new electric razor you bought, and be like, "Doesn't it look good? Doesn't my beard look good? Look at this outfit I bought," and really show it off. Show that off. Show your outfit off. Really, they're Karens. They're Karens, okay? They're Karens. They are the on the bottom of the social hierarchy. I don't know. It goes normal people, corporate lobbyists, authoritarian leaders, Karens. That's how it goes. Oh my God, the punching your dad in the face story is just a wall of text. 22 female here. Oh my God, you punched I thought this was like a dude and the dude was gonna get his ass beat. But now I'm interested. 22 female here. Growing up, my dad ran the house like a boot camp. He retired from the military when I was 6 and started living with us from then on. I'm not sure if it's because I once had a life without him around, but I could never get used to his presence or rules. He's made a monarch of himself in this household. He's a literal king. No backtalk, opinions, or nothing. I'd literally try to say anything and he'd lose it. Something common he sensed when he sees the slightest disapproval on my face was, "You don't put food on the table, do you?" We get beat up, verbally degraded, and since my mother is another victim of his, we had nothing to protect us. He never let me out of the house for my own interest, and sometimes it's like he expected an apology for our existence. My mother tried to gaslight us into thinking it could be worse without him, and my siblings just learned to stay quiet. College is the first place I've ever had a peaceful breath. I've been talking to a counselor, unpacking this crap. Turns out it's not normal to flinch when someone raises their voice. Who knew? Now that we got the backstory down, I came back home this weekend. Sunday breakfast, my younger sister, who's 16, was stressing about a school project in the living room sofa. And my dad has this dumbass rule about how when everyone's at the table, everyone should be at the table. He condescendingly calls out her name and she says, "Just a sec," trying to quicken up. He does it again and again. I try to make things feel normal and tell her, maybe ask for an extra day, it's okay if you explain it to the teacher. And Dad slams his fork. "Shut up!" I freeze. The trauma of my childhood resurfaced after months of trying my best to find peace. I then noticed everyone just kept eating and ignored what happened because it's an attempt to make sure things don't escalate. I'm not sure if that overprotective side won, but the rage engulfed me slowly, and I stared at him with eyes filled with tears. He felt my stare and kept eating, and when he realized I'm being serious, he looked at me and said, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I just got up and tried to walk away. He got up and told me to sit back down. I'm not sure what came over me. I just knew I never wanted to see this man again. When I didn't sit back down, he got up, which I'm assuming is to hit me. Something snapped in me. 20 years of shut up, shut up, shut up. I swung, caught him clean on the nose. He stumbled away, cursing at me to get out and never come back like I was a stranger. I don't know how he's going to take his anger out on my family. I'm not ready to think about that right now. Perhaps he served in the military, right? Maybe it comes from being in the military. Like maybe he has PTSD or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but you can't. That's not dad behavior. I'm not a dad, but if I was a dad, this is a textbook example of what not to do as a dad. So many people, like growing up, think, oh, this is normal. This is how things are supposed to happen. And then when they leave the house and they have actual life experience, they realize that was terrible and that should have never been in the house. And that was not a normal way of doing things. It seems reluctant to understand. He just seems mad, but I think maybe he should take notes, and you wouldn't punch your father if your father was a good person. Well, that is all the time that I have for today. This video is longer than I anticipated, but I apologize for the debacle with the previous video. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.